The start of the Tribe Biñho League of playoffs and the race for the Tribe Biñho Cup is on, kicking off the playoffs. In the quarterfinals, we had Cujos United on the road against Real MC. The experienced club, they got out to an early lead, and they gave it up in terms of coming to a draw, but never had a lead change after scoring the first goal, and ended up winning 7-4. Shane, why do you think after being so dominant in Group A all season, Real MC, they gave up 3 in that first minute. In the second minute, they scored 3 themselves, but 2 of the first 3 they gave up were due to failed clears. Why do you think that came to them that day?
I'm not entirely sure. On the season they've been pretty good around the clearing in the clearing department. But I think just those 3 goals, getting down 3-0 at the start of the game, it's a blow to anybody in this game. And the fact that he was able to come out of it and only end the half on a 5-4 deficit, I believe. Yeah. 5-4 deficit. That's kind of crazy. Just to put 3 unanswered right back on him and just get back into the game. And I think even though he did get the loss, he played a great fucking game, dude.
Agreed. I thought that was amazing.
Exactly. His heart was in it every step of the way, and you could just tell, just getting back into it.
And obviously didn't really have the chances in the second half as Diego. We saw the fastest second half in league history. 11 seconds. First goal from Cujos came at 5. So
it was amazing to watch. Honestly, for that team to come out on the road, to beat the underdog on the road, and then at halftime you're up by only 1. You know what I mean? They feel confident in themselves, and they feel like, all right, I only need 2 more to get this game home. And they came out and immediately put the ball in the net, putting the pressure on the other team. And then another failed clear, and then it was game over within the 20s. It was like the fastest pace. Everybody was shocked. The only 2 people that knew exactly what was going on were the 2 players playing, because it just happened too fast. So honestly, hats off to Cujos United for coming out with that same energy that they had in the first half, getting a 3-0 lead, and the second half doing the same thing. It was just remarkable how fast it happened.
100%. 11 seconds.
Yeah, and if they continue to play like that, Sammy, do you think they'll be moving on, obviously, to play Club Shiesty next week? Do you think they have a chance to beat Club Shiesty with that same energy and play that they put up this week?
I think if they keep that energy, they'll keep themselves in the game. But you also have to understand that, like, those were faults on the Real MC side that they did capitalize on. So I don't know if the Shiesties will get that opportunity. So we're going to have to see a different approach. There won't be so many give outs on that. But Cujos won't really care. They'd rather play a cleaner game without those handouts. So, I think it might show more. They're going to show, like, hey, like, yeah, those weren't set up fully for me, but I'm still get mine. They might put up that same number in 11 seconds. Who knows? I think it was a remarkable performance. I don't think we've seen anything like it. I don't think we will see anything like it again. That intensity right there in that arena was like they're living at 2 times speed right there. No bullshit. I talked to Sam himself. He said he was living 2 times speed. He wasn't sure what was happening himself. Also, he just knew the ball was in his net. He said, "Fuck." But he tipped his hat over to Cujos. All due respect, like we say, the offense is the whole game, so you really just gotta respect it at the end of the day.
Definitely, and Sammy played one hell of a game that day. But I will say, as for Cujos, they did manage to stay off the board that day. No fouls, no own goals, and for a team that led the league in fouls throughout the group stage, 5.
That's huge.
That's averaging 1 foul a week, and most of them are red cards. And he actually didn't have a foul in each game, which is amazing. But if he can continue to stay off the board, I think that will be something that helps him in the long run. As for Thursday's matchup, we had Baked Biñhos and BC Fumetas, and wow, what a game we had there. Back and forth, punches being thrown, cards were taken, lines were drawn, and ultimately another upset on the board. Sammy, what do you have to say as for the Big Vinos who got their first win last week? They continued their momentum. Do you think they will be able to carry on building up over the course of the playoffs? Or do you think that was just like
I think
an early
this,
hot spurt?
I think this team got their footing. You know, we played a longer regular season than the initial board had sat down and scheduled for the season. So that also changed a little bit of things. But once the Big Vinos got that first win under their belt, and there was time to refine their craft and come up with a new offensive game plan, and not just a regular one that their opponent may have seen. So it's like you pulling out that March Madness card with them, and it perfectly executed. It's crazy to see that the Big Vinos are getting their footing right now, heading into playoffs. That's what any team ideally would want, but they would also already want their wins ahead of time. But the Big Vinos, they stayed the course of the season. You know, they stayed humble with themselves, didn't get too low when they could have gotten really low. You know, and they executed. They executed perfectly. You know, they found a new shot. You know, not perfect. You know, there's some cards, some dirty plays, but you know that's gonna happen in Biñhoboard when you're gonna play in a fast-paced game. But I think it was an awesome performance. I think they're gonna advance with that new offense for sure.
Agreed. And, you know, Big Vinos, they took a red card right before the half. BC Fomentes was able to get a 4-3 lead. But after that, they just weren't able to exploit that center defensive mid being absent. Excuse me. Diego, do you think it was a matter of fact of just Diego was maybe overshooting the ball in that game, or just a little too hard and just wasn't able to get through the pin on a bounce, and it was, you know, just getting stuck, or he was undershooting it sometimes too?
Yeah, I think it was more of like not knowing the scenario, what shot to take when. You know what I mean? He would shoot a shot, and then or try to. Sometimes it was a little like an overshoot, like all right, you're overthinking the shots at a point where it's like you have a few open lanes, you could go this way, you could go that way, but you think too much, and once you try to hit a specific lane, it usually doesn't work at all. It goes left or right by a long shot. So a lot of that happening when there was just an easy lane to go in through. So yeah, a lot of second guessing, I would say, it seemed like, because you know having a lead like in the second half usually pans out, but then once you can't find it and the other team finds it and you're just not able to get it going at all, that's when we saw the Big Vinos run away with this one for sure.
The momentum shift.
Yeah.
Right there. And it's almost like when you're, you know, having a catch in baseball and you start overthinking, like just thinking about throwing the ball. That kind of
Starts going everywhere else but where you want to go.
Right, and it's just like, hey, just gotta throw it. It's kind of the same thing.
Stop thinking about it.
Just let it rip. Yeah.
Shoot the ball.
Oh yeah.
Shoot the ball. That's exactly what I always say. In Bino, you just gotta shoot the ball at the net. The band it's a pretty shot, it's a fun shot, but it doesn't always go your way, and the bounce isn't always going to be with you. So, you know, when you can, throw the ball at the net.
Yes.
I mean, that's best philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in this one. Like, I was talking with the manager of Cujos United the other day, and we were both talking about how this game, there was nothing but long-range shooting, long-range scores, and it was kind of great to see. It was a fun game to watch, just constantly scoring from distance, to be able to have that offensive efficiency. It's awesome.
It was
Made
great.
for a great game.
And Baked Vinos upsetting BC Fomentes 7-5. They'll be able to move on next week to face Tropico City in the semifinals. And you know, do we think the way they're playing, they've played consistently the past 2 weeks? Do you think they're going to be able to string third win in a row together?
Hey, yeah, let me step in
against
here.
the league title, not the league champ. Sorry, the league title.
Being of that group B, it was a tight group towards the top. You know what I mean? Tropico City was always just above BC Fomentes. You know what I mean? And they didn't really give the Big Vinos any thought at all. But now, after that shot approach, you know what I mean? He just drops it. He just flies over everybody. I think Tropico City should definitely be worried about their, you know, they only give up about 3 goals a game, but right now, Big Vinos is coming ready to score 7 again.
Yeah, they've never seen any offensive tricks like that. throughout the season. So they're definitely, I feel like they're definitely going to be pulled back a little bit. Try to, they're going to be a little stunned at first, but ultimately that defensive efficiency, it may come out. You know, it may come out.
For sure. So we will catch you tomorrow for the predictions for the semifinals, which start this Thursday with Cujos United on the road against Club Shiesty, and Friday's matchup we have Tropico City hosting Baked Minos. We will see you there.